Hello, welcome back to my tea house. For today's cup of tea, we'll be going over some decks that I think you should consider taking, practicing against, printing out as proxies in anticipation for our second Nats taking place at Vegas in 2026. I want to start this off with a tier list. You know I love tier lists. I love seeing your guys' shitty tier lists. I love you guys seeing my shitty tier list. But I want to start a conversation because we are at the turning point. We are at a turning point in Union Arena. We are officially getting to the point where we are catching up to JP in the sense of tempo, pacing, and we are getting these crazy decks that are doing crazy things. And some of the old decks can no longer keep up, compete, or are just being gate kept out of the meta. So I'm going to drop this and I'm going to run away. So I take it in. Take it all in. I do have Spear at the very front. My reason being is this deck is just aggressive, oppressive, and has so much draw. So much draw. But it's hard to say because honestly, these three decks that I have in the front, I think are all in contention for BDIF in the format. And I can make an argument that Red Kenshin is still best deck in format, if I'm being honest. All of these decks gatekeep the decks in A+ from being up in S. And it is apparent that we are starting to see a new guard in the passing of the torch. We do have Yellow Evangelion, which a lot of people consider to be best deck in format, just because like you honestly don't need to be good at the game to be able to play this at a high level. The deck honestly almost plays itself. Red Kenshin, self-explanatory. Honestly, it should. What the? There's my headphones. Honestly, the deck should get hit. Honestly. Now, some of you might be surprised with what you see next. Toshi. I think Toshi is strong, has some amazing things, looping, all that fun jazz, but it also can't be pushed back or BP reduced, which some of these decks do crazy things like that. Wille, an absurd strong deck next. Deck is crazy strong. GGO. I know some of you guys are going to be surprised about that, but GGO I think is still the best snipe deck in the game. It is consistent, it is fast, consistent impact, and there's some cute things you can do with the deck. You guys might be surprised. Kaiju number 8. The deck's just fast. It's good. I have those two up there. They're actually supposed to represent a blending of the two. It's supposed to be the no final hybrid list that is tearing amok in the regions across seas. Next, we have our A+. Red Evangelion is still strong, but it gets chewed up by Red Kenshin. It's too slow. It is honestly too slow to compete with that deck. Toshi being able to freeze your back line multiple times can be annoying sometimes, but a lot of those decks in the S tier are just too fast for Evangelion, the red one. But the red one has some crazy turns, and I've been coping with it. Yuna, the reason why Yuna is not in S is purely because of Kenshin. It's gate kept out. It's gate kept out the meta. Purple Saito, it's not in there because of Evangelion. Evangelion is just too big and too fast for it. Pause. Gate kept it out the meta. Mustang. The cards that we're seeing, too fast, too big. Gate kept out the meta. Lancelot, one of the best high rolling decks that we can see. The Evangelion decks, way better high roll. Way better high roll. Oh, you're gonna pop my body? Okay, I'm gonna cheat 3 more bodies out. Annoying. Don't try it. And then we have bait. Look, the Sukuna pair bans, there's a reason why they took the bans away. There is a reason why you're able to play with the card, and there's a reason why it still does nothing. Yes, a high rolling Sukuna deck can compete with the best because, I mean, you're high rolling. But the deck is not fast enough to compete with these S ranks. Trust me. Trust me on that. This deck is bait. Do not take it. Byakuya. My teammates have been playing Byakuya for the longest time and have been performing extremely well. I think we have some of the best Byakuya players. Shout out Greg for topping on it. Just play Wille. Byakuya is too slow. Just play Wille. Wille is a lot faster and does what Byakuya wants to do, but better. They also have a Byakuya special. Toto. Toto could still be a sleeper, but I do think Toto's just too slow. Now that we are getting some of these big bodies, disrupting energy and mana would be crazy. The thing is, we produce energy and mana so fast, we don't care if you swap one of our cards. Again, we're cheating bodies out like it's nothing. It's egregious. Muzan. This is a deck that I was really eager and happy to see and wanted to cope on. It's just too slow, and you're going to start to see a common thing. Now, the one deck that's here that I do want to highlight, I feel like I'm glazing Black Clover. I always talk so highly about Black Clover, but I just don't take it. But the deck is cute. You could turn things off, right? And then you could raid Noel. It's cool. Still has heavy removal to compete with some of those big decks. It's just a tad bit too slow. I think we're at the point now where Purple Bleach is falling out of contention. I do. Stay home, sip tea. Look, I purely put in the decks that I think people are going to take and try to play. Ashford, put it up. SAO, put it up. Blue Bleach, why are you trying? Green Saitama, Blue SAO, stop. Demon Slayer, stop. Now that that's out of the way, I do want to go more in depth about the S tier and why these are here. Now, getting into it, I've gone ahead and divided what I consider to be the best decks into their respective categories. And when I think about a deck to take to Nats or talk to the team, the other D3 members, I like to consider the archetypes, and these are the main archetypes in my opinion, right? We have your combo decks, your control decks, you have your snipe decks, as well as your aggro decks, right? And in these sections, I've gone ahead and put what I believe to be the best decks to have the best potential to win Nats, as well as perform and get you into that top 5 contender standing. So getting into it, we have the premier aggro decks, Red Kenshin, which is a no-brainer. Arguably, probably still best deck, honestly. But the new decks, Evangelion, do put up a huge fight and a huge argument for what is BDIF in this format. We also have purple Evangelion, Wille to be specific, or Wille, however you want to pronounce it. This deck also doubles as control. We'll get into that more in the next slides, as well as Kaiju number 8, my personal favorite. There was a huge popularity and huge showing of this deck in Orlando. I think only one converted into top, but that one list did perform extremely well. Next, we have our premier snipe deck, and honestly, it only goes to GGO. It is the only deck in this format currently that is able to ramp fast enough and consistently deal with Evangelion and some of these bigger things. I know that is a hot take because there is an argument that Purple Saito's best deck in format, but honestly, Purple Saito I think is too slow to compete with what's going on in this Nationals era that we have. Next, we have our premier control, which is Yellow Evangelion, arguably BDIF in format. It's honestly like baby's first deck. Like, If you know how to play the game, you excel with this deck. If you don't know how to play the game, you excel with this deck. There's a lot you can do with it, and honestly, you'll notice in this Evangelion set, they really said, this is what the deck does, now do it. And you can either do it really well, or you could do it extremely poorly, right? The next is Toshi Green Bleach. Arguably a dark horse, honestly. I think that the binder cards really help boost this. I believe that in the hands of a great pilot, the deck can shine. Shout out Ming, one of my teammates, for proving that in Orlando. Too bad he, choked in the finals. But I do think Toshi being able to freeze back line, stop some of those aggros, as well as have that pressure of the Kenpachi raid with the double damage as well as impact, and just being able to not be BP reduced or moved to the back line by other decks like Red Kenshin. It's just extremely strong, extremely versatile, and as well as that new one drop Toshi that allows you to get back your raid Hitsugaya if you are unable to find more, or if you just want to put your opponent in a loop, and that loop is vicious and dangerous, and some people can't even play the game. Getting into the last one, probably one of the most annoying decks to come out of the Evangelion set, Purple Evangelion Spears. This deck is the premier combo deck, and it is that for many reasons, but we'll go more in depth on the future slides. Now, some honorable mentions that some people might have thought about. Control, Purple Yuna, right? SAO. Now, Yuna is a strong deck. It was the king in JP meta for a long time next to Macross, and it was mainly because you were able to stack your deck. This is one of the few decks that you're able to fully search through your deck multiple times, so you're able to bottom deck certain things and remember what order you put it in. That way, once you get back to it, right, you can do all these cute things. Loop the Asuna that has double damage and impact. Loop the Kirito, which is basically your only form of removal. But the one thing that people aren't realizing, I see a lot of chatter, a lot of hype around Yuna, and it's well deserved if, and that is a strong if, Red Kenshin isn't as popular at Nats. There's a reason why this deck fell out. It's not because of the pair restrictions. This deck is still extremely strong with the restrictions that JP had, but Kenshin is just fast, and it does not allow Purple Yuna to develop their trash, and that is the one thing that is important about that deck. On top of that, the Evangelion decks are also just too fast, and they don't allow you the time to set up and do that methodical, meticulous setting up trash, looping, that breakdown that you want to do with this deck. If Kenshin doesn't show up, hey, this is an amazing deck to I guess take a leap of faith with. But if I'm being real, guys, you're better off learning GGO, and if you really want to take something that's purple, you're better off going with progressive. At the end of the day, Unit will always be strong and a fun deck you can play with. And again, some people will perform well with it, but just know it's almost a auto lose if you go into a red Kenshin. Now, the next honorable mention is Mustang, another control deck. I think that Mustang being able to remove bodies off board, pressure your opponent, all these things is extremely strong, but we are now entering the big boy, big body race. And if you can't deal with a 5k body consistently, if you can't deal with your opponent developing their board during your turn, I don't know if you can keep up. And this meta is gotten faster, it's gotten bigger, stronger. Pause. No, click play. And you're starting to see that as we get more decks, new decks, the skill ceiling is getting higher, and the field is getting faster, and There's no turning back. Kenshin opened up the floodgates, and now we're here with Evangelion, and I'm excited to see what comes next. But I do think people will still be able to perform well with Mustang. It's just one of those decks like SAO that's being gatekept by the meta. Now, the last honorable mention is Purple Kenshin, which falls in the snipe category. I do think that this deck is strong. You are able to loop your snipe with the 2-drop. The only downside is I do not think this deck is fast enough to keep up with what our meta is going to be. There's a reason why we're seeing a fallout of Saito in the other regions, and why GGO is still performing and winning in other regions. GGO has one of the strongest curves. Kenshin has an amazing curve, but that's just about it. Getting into Evangelion, I don't really want to cover any of the deck lists for some of those lists that I've already mentioned, just because a lot of us have seen it before. You can go find it on your own accord, but Evangelion is a new beast. It is something that I think a lot of people should be proxying and testing and trying out going into Nats or LCQ and having a good understanding, because these decks are extremely strong. And though red isn't up here, red is just as strong as well. It's just that red hard loses to Kenshin. Red hard loses to Kenshin. But the deck is strong and fun, bro. Swinging 5k 3 times, or not even 3 times, two times with a 10k impact 3, basically unblockable. Crazy, bro. But getting into it, we have the 3 decks that I talked about and their respective raids that you really want to prioritize, right? We have the purple Evangelion 4-1 new unit 02 Wille that is built around Asuka. This raid is insane, bro. This raid is insane, allowing you to get up to 3 attacks and having some crazy turns. That is honestly rightfully scary. Now we get into the Mari, and there's one thing that I've noticed with this set, bro. Every deck has multiple attacks, just in a different way that's new and unique. And it's quite frustrating to deal with, because all of them, this is what I mean by the meta is getting faster, bro. It's getting faster. The Mari in yellow, you can activate a draw or active trigger and change it to a get. Therefore, it lets you operate around the 3-1 that allows you to play get triggers to the field, which is just versatile. You're not really ever using that. You're mainly using the when attacking, which allows you to pay 1 AP to stand another card. You draw 1 and you get to attack again, which leads to that combo. Now, finally, we have Spear, bro. This Spear. And I wonder, you know who you are. Bro, this deck, I don't know what deck I hate the most out of this set, honestly. All of them are frustrating. All of them have like high skill ceilings, low entry barriers, and all of them just like, if they see it, it's like a full set of Lancelots. And look, Bandai, I love you, but what is it with you guys giving these mech sets crack, bro? Even in the JP sets that we don't have Macross, like, what is it about giant robots that make you guys want to go, let's just make this busted? Like, oh my gosh, this card's super aggressive, right? It allows you to draw 1 card on play and play up to 1 purple character without a raid and with AP cost of 1 from your area to the field active. And then for your active main, after you raid it, you can pop a card on your field, the Wonder, to search, to grab another raid. And then if you did, you can activate your on play, draw another card, and play another card out. Like, there's no reason for this, but let's get more in depth with it, right? Let's talk about Purple Wille, the premier aggro control deck. Like I stated before, the 4/1 being one of the main win conditions, allowing you to triple attack. But this deck is like a better developed Byakuya. If you wanted to play Byakuya, just take Wille, honestly. Some key cards and standouts, right? You have the 4/1 raid. We'll get to that in more in depth. And the 5/1. Basically, what you really want to do with this deck is set up the 2-drop Asuka and repeatedly raid on that if possible, while controlling your opponent's board and needling them down till you just have this one big oppressive turn and you're just shoving it down their throat. That's honestly how it works and how it operates. Hence the little text saying "Go Burr." Like literally, I don't really know how else to explain this. This is probably the least that I've play tested with, but one of like the most exciting decks to watch being played, and it is something that I'm going to proxy out and play as we get closer to Nats, because I really want to understand how each deck works in depth. Now, once again, the standout cards are the 2/1 Asuka Langley. This card, when this character is rated on, you get to choose one of the following effects. The draw 1 card, which majority of the time you're using unless you're setting up a big combo with the 4/1 that you Asuka. And it allows you to choose up to 1 character on your opponent's front line. It gets -1 BP during that turn. And that is important because it builds off of the 5/1. Now, the second standout card that I wanted to talk about is the 4/1 Unit 02, which is basically the Kenpachi of the set, right? This card, if you get it early, sticks on board, and if you combo this with the 3/1 not Asuka, Mari, you can get some cheesy plays. The most ideal starting turn is playing the 2/1 Asuka, raiding on top of that with this, getting the draw 1 card, then swinging, and if your opponent has no cards on their front line, you swing and you added the effect from the 3/1 Mari that allows you to draw a card if your opponent didn't block, and then you just draw 2, right? Which is just amazing hand recursion. And on top of that, this adds to the theme. You get to minus something by 1000 BP. So if you raid on top of the 2-drop, you get to minus something by 2, right? And bro, it's just crazy because it's like if it leaves the board by any means, you just place the raid on top and leave the 2-drop on the bottom, and you can re-raid on it to re-get the draw 1 or re-get the choose. It's just insane. It's insane. And last but not least, we have the 4/1, which I did gloss over and talked about. Again, if you guys are more interested in seeing more of these cards, they are on Experts, soon to be Eggman. Go give it a look and build your own list. Next up, we have Yellow Evangelion Premier Control, probably one of the most anticipated decks coming, just due to its bountiful amount of alt arts that are gorgeous, as well as the frequent tops that it has going on in other regions. Now, with this deck, it's control in the sense that you're kind of dictating the tempo and pace of the game. In the sense of like Renji Rush, you kind of want to rush to just slam 4Ks on the board, and then you just always have a full board due to the 3/1 Masato allowing you to play get triggers to your board. It can lead to some scary turns, especially if you see the 4/2 Asuka out of life, or if you see the Mari out of life. Your opponent is in trouble. But not only that, this deck has a consistent 5 block if you have the 4/1 Ray on board, and you are able to loop that with the 0-drop Ray that allows you to draw a card. If there's one thing I need to like summarize this set, It's how do we get our players to draw more cards in a new and unique way, but it plays the card to the board active. So there are some situations where you'll block this and then you'll play out the impact negate to block the negate. If your opponents don't understand blocking orders, it can be very dangerous, but this is a deck that is consistently able to remove your opponent's board. Through the 4/2 Asuka, you can play it, pop something on your board just to pop something on theirs that's 5k or less, or again, if you get it out of life and it's a get trigger, you can rest something on your opponent's board. Now the real combo comes when you play the 3/1 Asuka, you pop the 0-drop Ray, you draw 3 cards, or again, you play the 4/2 Asuka, you pop Ray, you draw a card off of it. Or you can play the 4/2, pop something, ditch 2, give it impact plus 1000, and you utilize the Mari ability to restand it, and now you're swinging a 5k impactor twice, and you're drawing a card on top of that. Utilize your 0-drop Ray to gain card advantage. Utilize the 4/2 Asuka and removal to control the board. Close game with the 4/1 Mari and the 4/2 Asuka. It's honestly that simple, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, they, thems. It is that simple. And I know a lot of you guys are going to enjoy this set, and a lot of whales are going to enjoy this set as well. The 3 standout cards that I want to point at are the 4/1 Ray. Again, like I said, because you are able to block with this and play a 2 or less from your outside area. So the 0-drop is just constantly being regurgitated back out, and you're constantly getting draw off of that. It is a get trigger, and it has a beautiful alt art. Misato, once again, this is like the engine. Honestly, Misato and Mario are kind of like your engines, but mainly the Misato. Again, this allows you to turn your get triggers into like play on board, so they're like pseudo raids, which is a very cool concept. It is a double energy, and you want to establish this card on your board as soon as possible because your opponent is going to be scared to swing. And honestly, we've been practicing starving our opponents because, like, I don't want to give you a body. I don't want to give you a body just so you can like ram me the next turn. And then last but not least, the Mari, which like I've explained before, you can pay 1 AP, do multiple attacks. Not only do you have 5 blocks, but you have 5 swings if you do it right. Last but not least, we have our premier combo deck in Evangelion Spear. Now, like I've stated before, you want to establish the wonder as soon as possible to pressure the board. A lot of bad players are going to pop the wonder and just let you search for free, which is crazy. It allows you to look at the top 5 cards of your deck, and you get to reveal 2 cards with required energy 5 or more. That means you can also grab your special, which allows you to draw 1, trash 1, which is just like, again, how do we just make people draw in this deck? Or you can grab the Asuka, which becomes a 5k body on your turn. It'll also allow you to draw. Or the double energy Shinji, just in case, so you don't brick. Or, you know what, let's throw your raid in there as well. You can search your raid, who also gives you a draw 1 and allows you to just spit out bodies for free twice. This deck is very, very oppressive. You want to really utilize that 7 to create card advantage and pressure the board. And you need to learn when to ignore the wonder, and you also need to learn when to pop it. Majority of the time, the Spear player is going to pop it themselves to get a free search and play something, or they're just going to get a free block and block the wonder going into your 4. That way they can get a free search during your turn. You're going to have to learn how to swing under against this deck, and fast and consistent. That way you can keep up with their pressure if they high roll, or that way you can close out game or get to a point where you can close out game before they're really online. The 3 standouts, again, the wonder. It has a force block. A force block. A force block, look at top 5 and grab 2. And you don't even have to sideline anything. You just bottom deck this stuff. Like, And it's a raid. Like, you could raid it out of life. I don't know why you'd want to do that. You want the force block, but you could raid it out of life. Now your spear, the special. I rarely highlight specials as a standout card, but again, this card allows you to pop something on your opponent's board, and it allows you to filter, draw one, trash one. So even if you're bricking, it's not too bad. It's not too bad, honestly. And last but not least, the 7-drop. I've talked about it. You know what it is. And that really concludes the list. I do want to give you guys the Yuna in GGO, but I'm not going to go over it. Again, GGO is a very strong deck. I think there are some cool, cute combos that you can experiment with, and I do think it has the potential to compete in our meta. You are looking at the wrong SAO deck. Please take Yuna. Take Yuna. And when you're X3, don't come crying to your friend. Don't come crying to me. All right. It is what it is. But all things considered, I want to say thank you for stopping by my tea house. I hope you guys enjoyed your tea break. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.